Welcome back, everyone. Now, let me tell you, someone's getting sacked from NASA this week. Because guess what? They filmed a bunch of strange orbs going past the satellite. Once again, this is the second time in 2 weeks. And then they cut the live stream. That just gives us evidence that something weird is happening. Now, this girl here was just chilling, watching the NASA live stream. And you can see it. All these weird lights start appearing. And I can't figure out if these are reflections. But there's nothing in front of us. It's just space. So if these are reflections, how are they getting in front of the lens? Or am I stupid? Am I missing something?
Is that?
Look at it. It don't look right.
What the hell? Speaking of it, I'm literally watching the live stream of NASA. What the hell is that?
Oh, NASA. Good day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie. Don't know what accent that was.
What? That is so weird.
If this is a reflection, how does that happen? How? But the fact NASA go quick, pull the plug, makes it weird. I always think that this is done deliberately to get us all hyped up and anticipating something. And then they're just going to stick a bunch of hologram UFOs up in the sky and say, aliens are invading us, but it's all fake. I can't tell you how excited I am to watch this and to show you guys. So if you don't know, this is a real event, all right? This isn't AI. I wouldn't show you this garbage if it was AI. This is a real event that happened. This is the pyramid that was seen over the Pentagon in 2018, all right? And as you can see up there, perspective 1. And this was filmed from all different angles by all different people. This was a real event. And it was directly above the Pentagon. So I don't know if they're sitting down and having cups of tea with aliens, or they're just there to intimidate them. Let me know what you think about that down below. But anyway, I'm too excited to watch this. But let's do it. Look at the size of it. Look, and it's rotating. Look at it. Wow. That's incredible. Look at that. There's a Dorito UFO in the sky. And I didn't hear about this in 2018. How am I only hearing about it now? This is what I'm saying. Look, perspective 2. Look at it. What is going on? And the Pentagon, right? You can't even fly a flipping... you can't even throw a paper airplane over the Pentagon. And they got a massive pyramid flying above. All these people in these buildings here were probably bricking it. Imagine the person in charge. Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah, there's a flying pyramid right above the building. Eh? This was flying above the Pentagon. Imagine how all these people reacted and what they were told. Perspective number 3. Look at that. Yeah, so this person said that they can't even stop on the freeway because it's... And that's so close as well. Wow. Wow, it's massive. Sorry to keep pausing it. Look at the size of it. This is by far my favourite footage we've seen on the channel so far. That is incredible. And I wonder if it was some sort of intimidation tactic, or who's to say? You know, like when us human beings, we pull over to get a McDonald's, we just chill while we're getting our order, we get our burger and we drive away. That might be what's happening here. They might just be doing their drive-by to get something and then they drive off. But this is the only time, by the way, that this pyramid UFO has been seen. I couldn't find any other videos on it. This was the first and last time it was seen. Let me know your thoughts down below on that. That's some really interesting footage right there. Alright, you see these little rings on the floor? That isn't hair. This is a phenomenon, I can't say that word, during a solar eclipse and the light is going through the leaves. Imagine our ancestors seeing this thousands of years ago. They would have been, yeah, they would have think they're losing their minds. Look how cool this is.
Is this part of the eclipse?
I've never seen this before.
It could be.
Wow.
Strange. I've never seen it before.
I've never seen that before, and like I said, I'm glad we got science to tell us, don't worry, it's this. Because our ancestors, when they were trying to make a fire under a tree, and they were like, you know, and there's all those things popping up on the floor. Alright, so there's some massive storms happening at the moment, and people keep saying that it isn't normal. The people that live in these places are saying these storms aren't normal. Now, this is quite a short clip, but watch my mouse and watch in this area. Alright? This looks like some sort of UFO. It don't look like a drone, but just watch. And as I've said, these things are spotted around storms. I wonder why that is. There it goes.
Cool.
What is that? Looks like it's changing colour. All seen around storms, bearing in mind. So I wonder what the comparison is there, what the connection is. Alright, there's definitely something not right with these storms, because they're just getting ridiculous now. And this was filmed on the 24th of November. And the people that live here, like I said, haven't seen storms like this before. And with these UFOs flying around, do you think it's connected? Now, I actually got a video of it, this was hard to find, of the massive storm that was seen here, the biggest one they've ever seen. And then after this, a bunch of UFOs were being spotted. There has to be something to that. But anyway, look how ridiculous this storm is.
That's a massive storm.
Yep.
That is scary as hell.
That is a massive storm.
That didn't wake you up?
Look at that.
No, it was actually the gate woke me up. Gate and the light.
That's insane.
That's insane.
There you go.
That's been going on for 15 minutes. I'm scared.
It's out to sea, so it's not. If it starts coming this way, then you got to be a little bit worried. But
It's beautiful to look at, though.
that's just nature doing her thing.
These storms are being seen, and then a bunch of UFO sightings go up in the area by a massive amount. Leave me a comment. Do you think they're related? So this video is very mysterious and weird. All right. So this was sent to me, and this couple that are filming, they drive past this park late at night, coming home from a party, and they said they saw this girl on a swing. All right. And of course, normal people, they pulled over and were saying, "Are you okay? You need a lift home." But the girl says, "I can't go past the fence." Very, very weird. And these two are like freaked out because the girl was trying to invite them. You're going to see. I don't know why I'm spoiling it, but just listen to this. This is very weird.
She doesn't tell.
You don't tell your... Okay,
That's alright.
that's alright.
Just let him have a good night.
You just having
fun?
Are you having fun? Yeah?
Are you real?
Are you...
Did you hear what she said? If I stop, will you run? That's a wrap from me. That's a wrap, mate.
Yes, you can.
Am I talking to a fucking dead person right now? Please tell me
We're
I'm
all seeing the same thing, bro.
Are you alive or...
Just say it, like, have a good night.
Okay, have a good night.
Oh, what the
The last sentence there was, "Do you want to play?" Nah, that would be it. I wouldn't be able to do. And I didn't know that's in a graveyard. I actually did looked in the comments. That's in a graveyard. Nope. No, I'm calling Ghostbusters, mate.
There's a man in Chicago who claims he's been alive for 900 years, and the terrifying part, he knows things he shouldn't. They call him the Infinite Man, and once you hear his story, you'll understand why even the police refused to write an official report. It started when officers found a homeless man wandering downtown, old coat, torn shoes, mumbling to himself. But when they tried talking to him, he spoke perfect Middle English, not modern English, the kind spoken in the 1100s. When they brought him in, he suddenly switched accents. French, then Latin. Then something a linguist later said hasn't been spoken on Earth for hundreds of years. He told them his name was Iman, and that he was born in the year 1134. At first, the officers thought he was confused until he started recounting historical events with impossible accuracy. Battles, kings, floods, even the exact weather conditions on days that historians only partially reconstructed. Then he told them something even stranger. He doesn't live through time, he slides through it. He said every time he dies, he wakes up somewhere else. Different year, different country, different life, same consciousness. Almost like his soul can't stay in one timeline, like it's unstuck. One officer asked how many times it's happened. He said, I don't count anymore, but your world is the noisiest one I've been in. They asked him how he ended up here in 2025. He said he drowned in the 1600s and woke up gasping out on the shore of Lake Michigan just a few months ago. When they pressed him for the details, he said something that made everyone in the room go silent. I don't think I'm the only one sometimes. I see people who recognize me from lives I don't remember. And before they could question him further, he vanished. Not escaped, not ran, just gone. One minute he was sitting in the chair, the next the room was empty. Security cameras glitched for exactly 7 seconds. No explanation, no trace. But the officers who interviewed him all described the same feeling, that the moment he disappeared, something in the room felt colder, like a part of history got erased right in front of them. If the Infinite Man was telling the truth, where is he now?
Do you think there could be some people that live among us that like tried to figure out time travel like 200 years ago and ended up shooting ahead in time, and they're like, what is going on? Do you think someone's figured that out yet and just shot ahead into time or went back? Because if they did figure it out, we're never going to know, are we? Oh man, this video is making me sweat. That really is. I can't do it. I can't. This is so difficult for me to watch, man. I would pass out. If I was that diver, I'd just be like, I'd be floating up like a crisp packet. I would pass out. I can't. Even watching this video through the screen, it's too much. I remember jumping off a pedalo when I was a kid. You know what a pedalo is? There's little pedal boats. Jumped off it, and I put my goggles on, looked down, and I saw a boat that had sunk like years ago. It was all knackered. And I remember looking down and seeing it, instant panic. I was like, get me out of here. I can't deal with it. I can't. Right, I've been getting so many comments to read this story. This is one of the most famous stories ever. And the reason why this woman and her husband was so well respected in the alien world was because this woman was able to draw parts of space that they discovered much later, that she couldn't have possibly known at this time. So a lot of people talk about this story because of what she did, what she proved. She was drawing parts of space and galaxies and planets that they haven't even discovered yet at this time. That's mental. So, yeah, we're going to watch this. It's about 3 minutes, and I'm excited to watch this because of now knowing that. Very interesting.
We're talking with Betty Hill, famous and first abductee. September 19th, 1961, Betty, while driving with her husband Barney, was heading south from Canada.
Right.
When very early in the morning, he saw a strange light behind the car. It was September 19th. But what time was that, Betty, that this light behind the car appeared?
Well, we would crossed over the border into New Hampshire, and I think we started to see this light following. Actually, in the very beginning, I noticed a bright light in the sky, and I thought I was discovering a new planet until it started to move. And this was about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So we stopped the car and got out to see what this. We thought it was a plane, so we stopped the car to get out to look at it, and that's when it changed direction and started coming in towards us. Now that was in about the Lancaster area.
So,
And then it followed us for about 30 miles. Paced our car.
and all the while you and Barney were discussing it. What is this? What is that?
Yes, Barney did in World War II. He knew planes.
Thing is, as well, sorry to pause it. I'll try and pause it as little as possible. But whenever I see abductees, like their stories, what would be the benefit of a couple lying in 1961 about being abducted? Because if you go public with a story like this, your whole family are going to think you're nuts. If you've got a job, you're probably going to lose it. Am I going to get abducted in a minute? I keep hearing weird noises. But, yeah, what reason would she have to lie? That's what I always think about when I'm trying to deem if something's true or not. What's in it for the person? And this family went through hell. So, yeah, that's something we have to consider.
And he's trying to identify this. And it's flying in a very erratic manner, which was very puzzling to us. But this is 61. We'd heard UFO. Well, actually, in those days, they called them flying saucers. We had no idea what a flying saucer looked like. But we had no fear, just curiosity. We were trying to identify this craft.
You go on in the road. You decide to pull over. Barney gets out of the car.
Actually, that was in the Indian Head area.
Okay. Am I preceding something here when you encountered alien entities, or was this after?
No, this is the next step.
Okay.
In the Indian Head area, I'm trying to attract the attention of this craft. I'm telling it, come on in. Hi. I got the window down. I'm yelling to her. Hi. Who are you?
Oh, why? Why would you do that? I mean, fair play to her. She's waving at a UFO. Come here, come here.
I can't feel something still. And at that point, it left the top of the mountain, came out over the highway, and stopped in midair directly in front of us, maybe about 50 feet in the sky. So Barney got out with the binoculars in an attempt to identify the craft. And when he looked up, he saw a circular window with a bright light behind it, and he saw these men standing behind the window looking down at him. And at that point, the craft began to descend, and he became frightened. Ran back to the car, saying he thought they were trying to capture him. So we got in the car, and we went speeding down the highway to avoid capture. And as we're driving along, there's beeping sounds. That sounds like something was hitting the trunk of the car, and the car vibrated. And then we drove along for about another 30 miles when Barney turned off onto a side road. And here were the group of men he'd seen on the craft standing in the middle of this road, blocking our way. And naturally, he had to stop the car. And they came up in two groups, took us out of the car, passed in the woods to where the craft was on the ground.
I mean, another thing I wanted to tell you, when I was researching this lady's story, she hasn't changed it for the entire time. That's very hard to do if you're lying, to get every detail the same and to not miss certain bits, you know what I mean? Or to describe things in different way. She was talking about this for, a very long time, and her story stayed the same. So, I don't know. And for two people to describe the same event in the same way, if you're lying, that's incredibly hard to do. So, I don't know. It's definitely weird. Let me know if you want me to watch more about Betty and Barney, because they did loads of stuff. They talk about it in all different ways. But, yeah, that's crazy. Could you imagine that's happened to you, driving home in the evening, and a UFO just pulls up with these blokes just standing in the road? I'd rather go with aliens and stay here and work a 9 to 5. You know what? I've been reading a lot of comments from people, and I'm just like, man, can you guys be kinder to yourselves? You guys really speak down about yourself, you know, and it's sad. I don't. If I told you the same struggles that you struggle with, you wouldn't be horrible to me, would you? You'd be a bit more compassionate and empathetic because I'm another person. So why aren't you kinder to yourself? So whatever you're struggling with, be kinder to yourself. Be patient with yourself. You know? Don't be so hard on yourself. You're allowed to struggle. You know, you're not a robot, you're a human being. So whatever you're going through, take it day by day. You haven't got to fix it today. You haven't got to try and fix everything in your life today. You know, just take each day as it comes. And I can promise you, you're suffering for a reason. And the person you'll be when you when you get to the other side, when you overcome your challenges, you'll be so grateful for it. I look back on my suffering, my depression, my drug addiction, I used to drink alcohol every day, you know, a whole bottle. I look back on that version of myself and I'm glad. I see my suffering as a gift because I found myself, I found God, I found my faith in my suffering. You know, God's grace can bloom thorns into roses. I'll say that again. God's grace can bloom thorns into roses. You know, you will find the fruits of Christ in your suffering. So sometimes suffering isn't always something that we should ignore. Suffering can bring us to become a better person, bring us to faith. Some people don't have faith and suffer and become better people. Sometimes we have to go through darkness to get to the light. So never give up. And if you're suffering right now, see it as an opportunity to grow. Because trust me, you will look back on it one day and you'll be like, man, I remember when I used to do this, when I was really depressed. I was so angry at this person, I was angry at myself. But you're only human. You're allowed to feel like that. So forgive yourself before others. Forgive yourself. Be kinder to yourself. You're a human being as well. You were once born like I was. You were once a baby. You were once held and cared for and loved unconditionally. You're still that baby. You're still that human being. You know, and I know a lot of you're kinder to other people, but not to yourself, are you? If someone else told you the things that you struggle with, you would hug them and say, oh, don't worry, everything will get better. So why don't you tell yourself that? Alright? So be kinder to yourself. And forgive yourself. You're worthy to be loved and you're worthy to be forgiven. Okay? So keep fighting it and never give up, because I can promise you, you will look back on it one day with a smile on your face. And you can come back here and tell me, Ben Colson told me so. He was right. Because I've been through it. I had depression for 20 years. Severe depression. I didn't know I was severely depressed until I wasn't. So sometimes we need to suffer to become the person that we're supposed to be. So never give up on that, because this is the opportunity to grow. And you will be okay. Everything will be alright. I can promise you. Just keep fighting it. Never let them win. Alright? The light will always prevail. And reach out anytime to me and we can have a chat. Alright? Anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank all of you for your support. And yeah, I'm just blown away by it. So thank you all for watching as always. Thank you for your time, likes, comments. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Hope you all had a good weekend. And I'll see you tomorrow. See you then.